Hello everyone, welcome. I will continue working today on the level design with a few areas that are still missing for the in the future, the new town. So I'm just trying to populate all the maps that I have between this town and the new town that I'm planning to do on Monday. So I will continue just populating with grass, trees and things like that all the area. And also I will just then modifying this bridge, adding more loops to have some variation or not everything so plain. So I was maybe thinking that I would like to do like different lots for this one, so having this as lot 0 and then lot 1 was before, and also I can remove all the ones that I have under the water because it's not being shown of a few distance, so I could just remove almost everything here just for the next lot. So that's something maybe I will do later, but the first thing is just continuing with the level design. So I will move there for this area. What we need to continue doing is maybe this trail that I was just creating yesterday here, trying to connect with this area with the bridge that I was already doing here. So I have at least this connection, and I need to work on this terrain for having space. Hola, buenos días. Ya he visto que estabas ahí pendiente de que empezara el streaming directamente. Bueno, ¿qué hacemos hoy? ¿Algo en especial? Si no, creo que voy a continuar por aquí. Voy a seguir rellenando esto para que lleguemos hasta aquí y dejemos esto también preparado para que sea simplemente poner el pueblo. También había pensado hacer lots del puente que hicimos ayer, este de aquí, hacer un par de ellos y así reducimos también la geometría un poco. No me acuerdo cuánto tiene, pero poco, ¿no? ¿Cuánto tiene esto? Hola. $2K, es muy poco. Es decir, podemos reducirlo hasta 1K, un poco más. Tampoco es una gran ganancia, la verdad. Pero bueno, podemos hacer un poco. Vamos a allanar esto un poco. Yo creo que vamos a tener que ampliar aquí también el mapa. El pueblo quizás, pero aquí creo que tenemos poco espacio. Si queremos poner, no sé, la iglesia y la casa del Lord, me parece que tenemos poco espacio. Pues no sé, no, en principio no estoy constipado, pero sí que tengo todo. No sé si es que a lo mejor también estoy muchas horas en el streaming. Estoy también pensando, la semana que viene voy a hacer más horas, pero luego seguramente voy a descansar un tiempo porque no solo por no quemarme, sino porque también es difícil encontrar todo el tiempo cosas interesantes para hacer. Y eso me parece que incluso la garganta también se me acusa porque son muchas horas todos los días al final. Por eso estoy pensando a lo mejor descansar un poco a ver si se me pasa también. Pero bueno, en principio no, por ejemplo, estoy constipado ni nada de eso, o sea que no. Pero sí que es verdad que ando malamente de la garganta. Aquí. Lo que podemos hacer es poner, por ejemplo, la iglesia por aquí. Y poner por aquí la casa del Manor. Pero entonces no tenemos espacio. Me parece que, no sé, ampliando y ampliando el mapa porque me parece que no hay espacio. Al final no quiero hacerlo muy grande, pero es que no hay espacio. No puedo poner en 100 metros todas las cosas. A ver, por ejemplo, podríamos poner... que no sé, me parece que no tenemos espacio, esto es muy pequeño. Aquí podríamos poner la iglesia con una pequeña zona alrededor o algo así. Vale, y... y aquí podríamos poner todo este área para la casa del Manor quizás. Efectivamente, es que parece, bueno, en todo este área que pongo 2 casas y es que ya está, ya no hay espacio para poner más cosas. Se me queda pequeño. Por poner, por ejemplo, por referencia, las voy a poner aquí. Buildings. Como referencia, será posiblemente igual o un poco más pequeña, quizás sin torre. Como referencia aquí, y ahora hay que poner un poco de espacio alrededor, ¿no? Quiero decir, habría que dejar aquí un poco de camino, un poco de espacio, o sea, más o menos todo esto sería ya la iglesia. Un área aquí, por ejemplo, esta parte, ¿vale? Aquí podríamos hacer el camino y esto podría llevar aquí a la casa del manor, pero es que va a tener que ser incluso más pequeña que era la otra, porque es que no hay sitio. Voy a hacer otra casa, ¿no? Pero imagínate, ya solo el tamaño de la casa, es decir, y hay que poner también un poco de tierras alrededor o algo, es decir, no hay sitio para... No sé, hay que a lo mejor organizar esto un poco de otra manera. Bueno, aquí podría tener más o menos espacio este cuadro, podría ser a lo mejor suficiente. El camino que pase por aquí, en dirección a esto. Aquí la iglesia y a este lado sería todo el terreno de... Bueno, más o menos, es decir, no nos sobra, pero puede que sea suficiente. Puede que sea suficiente. Pero andamos justo. Es que igual nos va a quedar ahí apretadas las casas contra lo que es el muro ya. Contra este pequeño muro aquí ya. Es lo más. Este es el del río, ¿no? Aquí no es suficiente. Selecciona, no. Pues no. Y me parece a mí que efectivamente no es suficiente. Hay que hacer esto más grande. Top. Rotamos un poco. No hay sitio. Aquí. Venga, así lo vamos a dejar. Así que voy a pintar lo que sería aquí el camino que enlace hasta este puente. Y luego haremos aquí alguna bifurcación. Y podremos ir poniendo aquí también el espacio para la iglesia. Aunque la iglesia también tengo que hacer otra distinta. Paint mode. 28. 05. Te pego unos tirones. Está difícil aquí pintar. No sé, yo a mí me gusta pintar el camino al principio, me parece como que ya organiza un poco el terreno y ya me queda como los huecos poner las granjas, las casas y demás, como que ya queda un poco más organizado, ¿no? Si no, así en general no sé cómo poner las casas donde. Los caminos que conectan ya me van dando la opción de, de organizarlo un poco mejor. ¿Esto qué es? Un agujero en el terreno. Muy bien. Ups. Smooth. Vale, podemos crear, por ejemplo, hierba, ¿no? Hierba. Environment. Smooth. ¿Vas a hacer luego esta tarde también streaming, Guillem? ¿Te pones luego después de comer? Okay, trail. Blueprint environment trail. Aquí. Siempre me cuesta al principio hasta que encuentro, adivino cómo narices va esto, que sigo sin tenerlo claro. Vale, entonces aquí. Let's say this is the first point, duplicate the moving, and then it's just creating something that is connected to the first one. So let's say this is the first one, this is the second one, it's supposed to be connected, that's fine, and then duplicate. And for some reason it's always giving me selected the old one and not the new one, so that's something strange. I think probably the easiest way is just create something like one single line, big one, and then add points in the middle, so things like that. I don't care much, I mean I will just readjust later. So let's say something like this. And I will adjust properly later, so just adding a few of them. Well, this one needs to be closer. This is the first point. Okay, so duplicate here. I'm rotating this to be just in front. Okay. I can just try to do smaller the curve. It's maybe too much. But this trail is easy, I mean there's not so much detail. It can be just doing with a few points is enough. Need to check also about the height of this one, otherwise it's just not matching with the terrain. It's too big this. New point. Need to move to the top of this one also. Need to be at least bigger than the terrain, otherwise the Raycast is not finding any terrain. Things like that I could just rotate a bit, or yeah, you can rotate a bit this. And also reduce this one because being so big, curve is just modifying here. And let's say this is the one that's coming to this point. Probably I need to add a new one, new more here to do this curve. This is not only about the points adjusting, because I could just adjust the curve, but this is also spawning a mesh, static mesh, otherwise it's just stretching the decal that is just being painted on it. So I need to have a few of them, otherwise it's so big, the decal, and this is just stretching the picture that I'm using for that. So this one, for example, here is not painting, so probably I need also a point here, but reduce this one. So more or less all of them should be being shown for that, and maybe this one also smaller. And we can just walk and try to see how it's going. Of course the terrain is just deforming as I'm just going closer, or the lots of the terrain, but at least that all of them are being under the terrain. So for example this one, for some reason it's not showing here, so maybe I could just try to add a few more to completely adjust the terrain instead of just doing sculpting terrain. Maybe it's easier to have this, not sure. So if I'm deleting this, what is happening here? Or I can just try to put something closer. Yeah, maybe in that case it's easy just to sculpt a bit. So this is just growing, something smaller, 64. 128, I think is the size of the terrain. I can do smooth later, just to be matching with. Or maybe it's something that I need to reduce a bit. And then smooth. Of course that's fine if the terrain is not completely plain, but just trying to do this decal on the terrain should be easier if this is more or less the same, otherwise it's hard to adjust all the points that I have. For example, here as you see, this is not being painted, the decal for the terrain. Oh well, it is, yeah, it is. So just readjusting. Okay, continue with this part. We can delete this grass. This one is missing. Scalo 18, thank you for the follow, welcome. I hope that you have a notification on the screen, but for some reason sometimes it's not working, sometimes it's delaying a lot. But anyway, thank you. If you have any question or you have been here for the first time, just let me know. I'm just expanding a bit the terrain with more area for new buildings that I need to put here in the map, and also create a new town. So that's why you can see that more or less this one is almost empty in the map. I will add new S-plane here, and this is also working. And I will reduce it. Okay, finally you have your notification. Thank you. Probably also this one too big. Yeah, definitely too big. Jesus. And this is doing something strange. So this is the trail, more or less. Since this one is being rotated, or what was the reason here? Or maybe the terrain, we can smooth a bit. So that's helping. Just checking for this trail. You have had the mark for the cards. So more or less it is working. Yeah, there are some parts that are not working, but that's fine. Also, I'm missing the look, it's already adding the pebbles, but for some reason it is not. Painting. Okay. Strange. It's not being painted. Or I didn't do so long. Maybe. I suppose that you speak English, Scalo 18, but you can use the other language. Si no hablas inglés, Scalo 18 puede usar también en español. Jeśli białoruski, Scalo 18, może to na ruskim expressie. Is it now in the pebbles? Yes. Yes, it is. S-plane, blueprint. And this is the one that we have been checking the last time, I think. Well, it was a bit more complex, but it's more or less the same. So just S-plane and adding if you get the location of this point, and then it's like creating our right cast to find the terrain. So this is all static here. So finding the terrain, and then when it is finding the terrain, so this is the location. It's just adding mesh component on this location, which is just being like a small trail, so like square cube with a few loops to adjust better, for example, for the cubes. And it's just taking the last one, so next time is doing exactly the same. So creating a game for that. In fact, I think I don't need the the collision for that. You can just create or use the collision for the terrain in that case, probably. So yeah, now it's creating a few parameters for the material, and then taking care about the last one that was, and just connecting the new one with the last one, adjusting this mess, and this is all the code that I'm just using. So it's just taking the latest spline point and then adding the end position for the mesh, and then adjusting also the tangent for this one, so it's just adjusting to the terrain better, but more or less the same like any other spline that I'm using. So it's just like adding a few dots. As you see here, this is the only thing that I have this one spline component, so adding a few dots and then spawning meshes in each dot on the vertex that you are adding, and then using, for example, the last one, remembering the last one to adjust between them, the last one and the new one, and then managing for the tangent and rotation, scale, and things like that. So for that, it's also calculating manually the position of this point, or let's say the position of the decal that need to be added at the same place that the terrain. So that's why I'm doing this each dot. So that's why you see when I'm just changing something that probably you see, or I don't know how to do that. That is just recalculating this one every time. So let's move, for example, something here. As you see, all of them are being calculating this raycast for each point. So this is the line that is just calculating, then finding the terrain, and then spawning here the mesh at the terrain level. So the spawn point is the same as using for the terrain. So the spline is being adjusted, not the spline, but the meshes being spawned are adjusted to the terrain. So that's why I'm using this one, and it's always there. There's not a problem. Always adjusting and not being on the sky or things like that. So all of them are just adjusting to the terrain, as you can see here. All of them are recalculated. So I can use things like that. For example, as you see here, it's just growing and then going down and so on. The only thing that I need to do is just doing, of course, bigger than the terrain. So it's just finding them with the raycast and adjusting to the terrain or the curve. In some cases, for example, if I have bit distance between them, probably I need to add a few more to adjust better to the terrain. Otherwise, the curve of the terrain is not being adjusted properly with this one. So that's why I'm doing, and also not stretching too much the decal. If this is too long, it's just one of them too big and then stretching too much. So I'm just create a few points in the middle, and then this is also spawning a new mesh, but the decal is working a bit better. And this is not a big problem because it's just almost a cube with a few lobes. So it's like I don't know, maybe 30 trees each part. And I have also the laws that are just disappearing after a few distance, I think. So for performance, it's fine. It's just something nice to have on the terrain. And I was just checking that maybe I can remove the collision here for some reason. Let's say how it's this going. But I'm afraid to change things like that because I have a lot of instances already in the map. And yeah, not only calculating, but so it's supposed to be the collision now is the collision of the terrain and not the collision of the trails that I'm using. So for example, this one we can adjust. As you see that it's just moving this decal and also adjusting to the terrain anytime. And recalculating everything. For example, this one is too high. This is not a problem at all, but I can just adjust a bit, and then the curve between them are being adjusted a bit better. So things like that. And next thing we can add not only trees around but also a few rocks, small stones on the trail. So this is this one, and then this is small rock, and this is the place. Single instant level landscape. Jesus, so bad, so small. Okay, that's all. And change this, being bigger, and also this one being bigger. Needs to move. Oops, too big. But this one we could create something bigger. So, and then matching the terrain. And adding a few more. Oops, big. Floating rocks. Thank you. Floating grass. This is just a feature. This is not a bug. This is a feature. Hey, good evening. Or yeah, almost night for you, I think. I was just writing on Discord. Not sure if you have seen this message. Well, mainly it's just being thankful for you, just helping me with the project. I have seen this one on Patreon, and of course you have access to the demo and nightly builds and everything like that. So I was just asking you about an account for that, so I can just provide you with access to them. Oops. It's really helping a lot. There's another guy also helping, and I was thinking to buy the subscription for okay, finally speed 3 single instant, and try to change all the trees or at least trees and bosses, things like that. With this money should be fine. The problem is that they don't have any version for demo, in case that, for example, you cannot I don't know, export things like that. So I cannot play with it at the moment. I would like to see, or just watching a few videos. Well, maybe all of them all together. I mean, I don't have one guy doing that, but if I'm just checking two of them, and also one subscriber here in Twitch, and a few bits that they were just giving me, as you say, for example, some game day was giving me a few bits. All of them is enough for 1 month. So I was thinking today 1 month on speed 3 and create a few things. But as I say, they don't have any demo version that you can just download and try. So I should just, let's say, learning how to use this one before I'm just buying, because I don't have much time. So I have only 1 month at the moment to use this one, and I don't want to spend this month just learning or trying new things. So I should at least have an idea about how it works, and then not spending this time learning. But as I say, they don't have any version for demo that I can just download, even not being possible to, for example, export or do things like that, which is fine. But just learning how to do that and trying all the options that they have, and then reading some documentation. So I was just watching a few videos on YouTube that they have for official videos on Speed 3, and I was just watching a few things, but they have like a bit old version, so I think more or less the same, but maybe that some of the things have been changed. So I'm afraid that just downloaded the new one and I'm a bit lost, and I don't want to spend this time just learning. So that's something that at the moment I'm trying to avoid. Okay. But yeah, could be good, because I really hate the trees already. The performance is bad, and also they are really not nice, and I don't have enough variation. Of course, I didn't work a lot on it, so that's why they are not so nice, because I was just planning to change them just only for just progressing. So placeholders, and then replace later all of them, and create more variation. And melee boosters that I don't have, I really need them, because I can create different grass, different flowers, but boosters is something that I also missing, and I would like to create a few more. Oops. Take this. So okay, but I need to just check the videos and think that I know everything, and then move things like that. So I'm just taking a few time, just learning a few things, and yeah. Well, at the moment it's just, instead of having completely empty, I'm just using kind of placeholders. So as you can see that more or less are working and not completely empty. For example, this one is area for a forest, so I will replace all of them. I can just even replace here. I mean, I don't really need to recreate all of them. So I just replace here the model I'm using, and everything is working. So I'm not just deleting everything and recreating everything. Of course, the model is a bit different, probably maybe bigger, smaller. They are not looking well altogether, like not enough or even too much. So I need to review, of course, but at least having something, or the areas that I'm just planning to have like a few trees around them, around the trail, for example, in that case, probably I need to review some of them, but at least I have some trees that you can just have around the level, you know. So yeah, there are a few things that are planning to be changed in the future, so I didn't spend too much time on it, knowing that I'm just replacing. Thank you for those holes. Yeah, it could be nice to have, because now I was just working on the town for months, for 1 year already, and I have started doing all the areas around. And in that case, I need more, let's say, vegetation that I was just using in the past, just having a few of them, a few patches, not much. But in that case, it's something that I'm starting to use more, you know. Yeah, exactly. The first thing is I couldn't have the microphone initially. I mean, I have microphone, but the problem was that I was just sitting on the on the same room as a television here, so I couldn't really do anything because it was so noisy, and most of the time I was just playing music for the streamings on Twitch, but moving to YouTube they are just for having a lot of problem with the music, so in that case I was just deleting all the audio tracks so there is no sound until then. And I was just even knowing about this, sometimes I was just explaining everything on the chat at the moment, because I know that I don't have sounds. Some of them have sound, or for example the second hour, things like that, but usually no, that was a problem in the past. And after this video, yeah, I can use already, because I was just moving to another room, and I can use the microphone every day. So it was like sometimes I had the microphone if I was doing, for example, in the morning, but if I was doing this streaming during afternoon, evening, or things like that, it's not possible. So that's something bad that I was just explaining many times, that at the moment I cannot use the microphone, but I hope in the future. So I have moved to another room some time ago, and I'm using the microphone every time without no problem, because I'm here just isolating another place. So this is not a problem. The problem here is that it's too dark, and I was just checking for the webcam, using the webcam, but it's completely dark, and I didn't find a way to have like light just not in front of my face, and the bulb that I have in the room is just over my head, so this is completely black face. And yeah, that's cool. Sometimes I'm just also keeping this keeping also another monitor for that. Bled Young Gay, yes, sure. А где проблема? Что невозможно? Может вы тоже знаете русский? Ну как? Язык, какой-то язык. Что невозможно ли в мире, что поговорит по-русски? Можно? Да-да. Это не Google Translator. So I was just also checking for the webcam, but at the moment the light is really bad. I'm not planning to use this one. I don't think it's a big difference, but maybe some people was asking what the webcam, so yeah, maybe I will do it. It's not a big problem. You can find a few pictures of me, or maybe link it and things like that, so there's nothing bad. Если есть вопросы на русском или не понимаете это, не знаю, английский плохо или стесняетесь, что написать, потому что думаете, что ошибка и так далее, ну, может тоже на русском, пиши на русском, я читаю нормально и могу себе объяснить. Ну, обычно дело, как люди спросили. Если спросили на английском, если спросили на испанском, говорю на испанском. Если спросили, как, ну, сейчас есть люди, которые знают так, только английский говорит, ну, и так и говорю английский. Особенно, если никто не спросил, говорю английский, потому что, думаю, удобнее, и люди, ну, больше понимают, и вас знают куда. So for this area, we need to create also a few trees, covering with this one. Zero-E, I don't know if this is your nickname or this is your real name. I don't know about in Japan this is a name or not. But the idea is just standing here. This is the area for the new town that I'm planning to do on Monday. And I was just checking today about the area, and I was planning to have here the church, which is not a lot of space, but I have some space, so well, that's more or less fine. I was just checking with the one that I have already. Yeah, that's the idea. That's a long time away. I want to create already a new one, but I was just extending them out, and I say, okay, let's populate all of them, create all the trails to give access to this one. Anyway, I'm not just planning to release the game soon, but I mean, at least having all the areas that I have in the middle just being covered with some of the gameplay that I would like to have. Sorry. And this is the area for the new town. As you already know, this is the area, and on this side of the river I need to put here the church and also the manor house, the lord. So this is the area for the church. I was just taking this one with just as reference. I was using, for example, the church from the another town, just to see the size of this. More or less is fine. It's not a lot of space, but at least I can have some space all around and create a few trails, things like that. Like for example here, like small cemetery or things like that. That's fine. Some graves here could be fine. And then I was just checking for this space for the manor house, which is really not a lot. for example, checking here the old one, the old house that I was using, I probably will do something completely different. Well, not this one. Anyway, like that. So you can see that this is not really a lot of space here. So I'm afraid that I need to increase again the map. Really, the map seems to me like, well, it's fine, good enough, it's big, things like that. And then just moving, adding things, and you see that you don't have much space, and then it's increasing and increasing and increasing all the time the map. I didn't think to create something so big, but at the moment, everything that I'm just trying to add a few buildings seems to me that this is not enough space. Well, the grass is being closer, only working, so that's fine. And I didn't populate this area because of course I need to put the charts, and then they will be a bit different, so why to put now and then delete later? It makes no sense. So I will just start doing smooth. I could create something smooth here. So yeah, so this is the area that I'm just kind of leaving empty to populate later. I will create a custom chart for this. Probably will use or reuse some of the parts, or more or less the same size, but I will create like a custom chart for this town, and also a completely different manor house. Probably will be created on brick. I'll make like a wall all around with maybe one single tower, something simple, but I mean much more complex than the one that I was creating, because you should check this one, which is on the opposite side of the map. Okay, let's go there. So if you check this one, for example, you see that the side that I have been using, it's really not a lot. Still missing like small chapel here. Okay, that's fine. But as you see, for example, this house, it's just using a few area, just putting there. Only this small area is not enough on the new part of the map, so this is not enough space for doing something like that, which is really simple. But I'm creating like bricks all around, so I work with bricks, not big, and maybe one tower, and the buildings are just connected or made on the walls. So a bit different, let's say more expensive, or having more money for this new lore, and not this one, which is just more or less, well, the house is bigger of course and they have some space, but this is more or less the same buildings that they have in this town. So the idea is the new one being created with some small buildings with bricks, and also like a small fortification for that. So I need to have some space and also some water all around. And I see here that I don't have really enough space. I could even, I don't know, delete this trail, but yeah, I think that this is maybe not enough, or I will just use all the space here until this level. Of course I can just increase and adding a few forests all around, things like that, that's fine. But I say that this is not a lot of space. Seems a lot, but in fact this is not a lot. And every time that I want to create or add a few things, it's just increasing the map, increasing and increasing, and wanted to do something small, but seems not enough. And this is the space for the town, and I'm also afraid that seems to me big, I mean enough space, because since we are checking from the top, we can say that this is let's say 200 meters, and more or less also we have like 130. So I was thinking even like 100 meters square should be enough for the town, so this small square should be enough. But yeah, as the game is progressing, I see that this is not so big as it seems, and I start having problems with the space quite fast. Yeah, I'm planning to have, for example, like another chart, or having also the castle in the future. So I'm afraid that I need to increase the map, I don't know, like 2 or 3 times more than I have already, and that's kind of the minimum. Even as you see, this is kind of big. They are less than maybe 100 meters between towns, which is of course not realistic, but this is just a game, so that's fine, you know. But it's like 100 meters between towns. I cannot do, well, I could, but I don't want to do like 50 meters between towns. It's maybe too much. And also, for example, those communal farms, I need some space for example, the forest here, or I don't know, some place for pasture, things like that. I need some space. I cannot really connect all of them in 50 meters, so things like that should be like a bit of space. Or for example here could be, yeah, I can just replace this one, that's fine. But for example here the sawmill should be also not being in the town, because it needs to be kind of middle of the forest. So all this area I cannot really put all together, and as you see it's like a 50 meters far from communal farms, for example. So even like that, everything is so close, really. What's here? Bled Junge, thank you for the follow. Welcome. If you have any question, just let me know. Or you want to see any other part of the game. If you are here for the set time, maybe you have a few questions. So everything like that, which are really connecting and creating, is like 50 meters, 25 meters between them, which is really nothing. Comparing if you think that they are like on the nature and they have kind of lot of space. Of course they need to be walking, so the distance are trying to be smaller. But I mean, I cannot put closer the buildings. Even like that seems to me a bit closer. But well, it's a game, you know, trying to be everything closer, not just walking and walking. But even like that is really not much space to do things. So let me see how big is it, for example, this town, which is really not so big. I mean, I have 5 farms and 5 houses, but it's not really a big town. But even like that, it's using, I don't know. So this one is small, okay. Yeah, so it's like 70 meters on 100 meters. So I was just thinking like 100 meters square could be enough for the town. But also I need to have the watermill, I have here the bakehouse, I need to create also the blacksmith, and this is the manor house. So this is really not enough with 100 meters square for a town. So I think I was just checking for smaller areas, and in the end this is not enough. I need to create something much bigger. That's all. And the new town will not have a market, or maybe a couple of them, but I mean no real market like here that you have more things. And this is something fun that I was just doing. Let me just show you that I was thinking that I can do that. Well, wait a moment. Buildings, communal charge, market. Okay, so this is something that I was just thinking that a few times a day, or maybe during the week, there are a few days that you have market, but there are other days that you don't have any market. So it could be like completely empty when you are coming to this town, and then you need to maybe come tomorrow or after 2 or 3 days. And in that case, the market is just working. So I have a new folder, then I can move to a new level and then downloading the market. So it could be nice having things like that. So the market, for example, is disappearing and then appearing, let's say, in another town. So you need to move with the markets in case that you want to buy, sell things. Could be nice, things like that. So here is the bakehouse, which is usually was a bit out of the town, just to avoid, of course, fire, because all of them are being on wooden parts. So they try to have buildings with fire. They have a bit far from the town, like for example the bakehouse or also the blacksmith. But in that case, they are really in front, you know. This is like not a lot of space, not so realistic. Yes, I did all the models, everything that you see here: the grass, vegetation, the flowers, stones, fence, buildings, props, market, everything that you see here. Most of them I was just doing during streaming. So if you want to check them, you can check all the videos on YouTube channel that are there. If you are interested on modeling, I mean, so you can check, for example, a few buildings. For example, the chart that I was just completely modeling on streamings, or for example, the house of the manor house here. So you can also see here. Let me see. Player Anonymous 5, thank you for the follow. Welcome. You have your zombie. And for example, this house I was completely creating on streaming, so you can see everything modeling. All the buildings that you see in the game, you can go inside. Some of them, of course, they don't have still furniture, but I mean all of them have windows, doors, and you can just go inside everything. all the doors, windows are interactive, of course. Any of them, or for example those things, this one I was also creating during streaming maybe 2 weeks ago, or this well I was also creating not far ago, so you can find some of them. The charts I was also creating a few times ago, and it was taking like a few sessions or a few days for that. You can go inside of everything. Not everything have been finished, of course, but you see that it's completely modeled, and you can also go to the tower. You have all the things here, so you can really go inside of everything that you see. Every house, every building, 2 floors, all the rooms. Some of them have already furniture that I was just adding, populating already. So you can see some of them have furniture. Others are still empty because of course the game is not finished, but you see that most of the houses have already furniture inside. Not everything, of course, and some of them have not been finished, which is fine because the game is not completely finished. But I mean, you can go, for example, here for the big house also, you can go inside. Let me see. So you have also the bake house here, or just in front you have the water mill. I can also go inside. So yeah, you have all the buildings are real buildings, not just fake houses with 4 walls. So all of them are real buildings that you can go and supposed to be going in the game. Initially, not all of them are completely open, so you need to do a few things, mission progressing, and that case you can just access to them. But yeah, you can see that all of them have rooms, windows, everything. So yeah, you can go any building. I'm planning to use them, of course. And for example, the NPCs are going during night and are going home, and during the day I'm just working on farms or going to the market or just walking to some areas. So they are really using the houses for that. So all the buildings that you see that have been done. So if you are more interested on modeling, you can see almost everything have been done here. I'm using Blender. I don't know if you are using Blender or any other software, but I don't think it's a big difference. I mean, just watching someone doing how to do that, the workflow, I don't think it's a big difference. So yeah, you can check all of them. I didn't buy anything from Marketplace or just using assets from other games or things like that. Just to be something specific for my game. This is also being realistic, so all of them that you see are being done from some of the reference that I was just checking on internet or finding just manuscripts with pictures, things like that. So I was just creating, being realistic for the game. A lot of props, of course, that's fine. I was doing also during streaming, for example. I remember this card, this is maybe 1 hour, not really complex. This house also I was creating on streaming with everything, also with the decals, the blueprint, and the code, because they have all the buildings are codes that they are managing the windows and doors and everything, and windows are illuminating the house according to the time of the day and also orientation of the windows. So you have like real lining in the houses, and they are controlling, for example, the sound that you are going inside. The sound is decreasing a bit because you are inside. You go outside, you have the sounds increasing, for example, things like that. So yeah, it's too much work, but all those small details are doing like the immersion for the game is a bit better. So you feel like really entering houses. This is dark being inside of the house, and then you are opening the windows, and then you see that's lining, things like that. And not everything the same lining being inside, outside, or for example the sound. So in case you are inside, everything is decreasing about the sound, for example the birds and things like that. So every house in fact is just code, it's just blueprint, controlling everything. Or for example, even the chart have different illumination inside or outside, things like that. So yeah, everything have been controlled to be not just buildings but the real house with many other things. So I can just go here and go to the church or any other building that we can go there. So let's play here. Okay. So you have ambient sounds day and night, and in case that, for example, I'm going to some house, or I can go to this one. If we go inside, the sound is just decreasing, And for example, you can see this one is lining here, but not this one. This is about the orientation of the light. So you can see this one is not illuminating a lot, but if you check the sun is of course on this position. So the window is also according to the position of the sun and also the orientation of the window. You see here, so it's just illuminating for that, but not this one, not much, because the sun is not coming. This is actually for the same here. You have also the sound, so it's just controlling even the rooms to keep the performance, and you have everything. So in case, for example, I'm just closing everything, you see the house is more or less dark. They can just open everything. So this is just lighting here. So it's like a real illumination for the houses. Or for example, the chart have completely different illumination because they have like a very specific windows. So this is not completely finished, the charge, but you can see here, for example, let me see from this side. You can see the illumination for the windows. It is completely different for outside. So let's say the buildings are controlling the also the illumination, sound, and many other things. So they are like real buildings. But yeah, the models being done on Blender, you can just check on the YouTube channel. You have a lot of videos there, and I'm uploading from time to time all of them. So all the streaming that I'm doing, I'm just uploading later. Create like a thumbnail, writing some description, maybe removing a few things. So yeah, I'm adding later all the videos. And I can just this one. I could this one update here and also update this one. So I have a few. Yeah. So I have already some things here. I will check this trail that I was just creating to see if this is going to work or not. So if you have any question about the game or even Unreal Engine or just game development, I don't know, just let me know. Otherwise, I'm just working on this almost empty area with populating the area to be ready for the new town. So let's check. Of course, the terrain is just jumping, so this is something that is deforming the trail, but more or less fine. Also some parts, for example this one is not painting, it's just deforming here, not completely plain, but that's fine. I mean, something that you could just expect being on the nature, that not everything is plain, so things like that could be fine. And that's why I was creating this decal to paint on any terrain, otherwise I need to have everything plain, which is not realistic. So you have, for example, this small hill here, the trail is continuing, so that's fine. I could probably reduce a bit this one, because here is too much, this part. So here I want to reduce a bit, and then sculpting, and I will leave it down, and then smooth. Okay. And there is another part that I was also having this problem. Probably here. So I will do the same. Sculpting a bit down, and then smooth. Got that. Or there's too much grass here. I will delete a few of them. Not messing with the trail. Or I could just move beat the trail here. Seems to me that's saying, yeah, something like that. Let's do something smaller. And this is another point that was just doing a bit of this. So yeah, this sculpt a bit and then smooth. That's fine. I think that's fine. Let's add a few maybe trees around to create something nicer. Save here. Save. Okay. Let's be sure that I'm not having any other thing selected. So this is the only one that I have selected. That's fine. Well, first I would like to add a few flowers. So it'll be easier to see with this. So here we have current level. I'm gonna create something bigger. And this is the level that I want to create. So I will put a few of them to this area. And maybe a few variation with this. Okay, and same here, like a few of them with this pink one, which is also blue, and then remove this one from this and painting more of this one. I like to have like different flowers for different areas, not all of them on all the map, but just like different colors for different areas. Probably I need to create more flowers to have more variation. Especially as I say that I was just working on the town for almost a year, but now I'm moving to open areas, so I'm using more the vegetation and all the nature assets. So Kudoku, привет. Kodoku, извини. Привет. Как дела? Пока еще делаю здесь карта. Вот так. У меня такое-то время. А вот и как? Понятно? Легко. Думаю, да, легко начало, что пока понятно, нормально все видно, как работает, а потом, все как я сказал, что очень простое, что один на один, что на каждый это node blueprint будет типа код. что ты хочешь типа можно искать, какая линия на C++ тебе написана на этот нод, поэтому, ну, думаю, легко, если все понятно, все быстрее, можно попробовать, потому что линия, конечно, эта стрелка надо сделать, можно сделать побыстрее, попробовать сразу, тебе не надо это компайл, ничего, быстрее будет, просто попробовать, все понятно, а потом, да, на C++ будет. Hola Dani, muchas gracias por el host. ¿Has terminado ahora el streaming? ¿Cómo te fue? Los viernes por la mañana hay un poco menos de gente, yo creo, ¿eh? ¿Cómo vas? ¿Preparado para la próxima semana? Guiño, guiño. Let's add trees for this area. Oh, we can create... No. Wait. First thing that I would like to do is creating here. Hola Dani. ¿Has terminado entonces ahora un streaming? ¿Estabas tú ahora haciéndolo? Así le pasa a gente que escribe y escribes en el que está en el host y te escribes a ti mismo, ¿no? Muy bien. Buen provecho entonces. Luego nos vemos. Gracias por el host. Un detalle. No, estoy a сказали, что возможно делать, что делать на blueprint, все понятно, все что есть. C++ не надо вообще. Можно все делать игра без этого. Но хотите это учить? Можно, потому что 1 на 1, возможно, C blueprint будет тоже на C++. Это как тебе надо так звонить и так далее. Но не надо. Хотели, ну и хотели. Я просто сказали, что быстрее это на blueprint все понятно, все сделать, все учить быстрее. А потом как угодно. Но C++ реально не надо, если не будет очень специфично. Особенно, например, если делаешь это про network. Если делаешь клиент-сервер, да. Все остальное никак. Реально, тебе не надо. Все спокойно. Я так делаю, что чуть-чуть на C++, потому что мне кажется, что удобно. Если очень большой уже blueprint, так и делаю. Но все остальное, все blueprint, все удобно, быстро и все. У меня проблема это перформанс, у меня нет. Поэтому... Ну вот, поэтому Поэтому так сказали, потому что я помню, вы сказали, что хотели учить C++. Я сказал, что давай на blueprint сначала, что легко все понятно, а потом C++ будет легче, просто так 1 на 1. Ну вот, тогда я сказал, что и тоже реальный проект, иногда реально не надо C++. Тут люди делают, потому что, о, круто, удобно на C++, что перформанс получше, ну как? Если у тебя игрушки маленькие, как? Вообще не надо. Так реально, я сказал, что можно делать полная игра без C++, не проблема. И работает нормально. Перформанс не проблема не будет. Поэтому через спокойный blueprint попробуешь очень быстро, потому что просто play и все. Не compile, ничего, не проблема. Ошибка, не null pointer, ничего. Там очень быстро будет, очень удобно, думаю. Мне кажется, что удобнее. Поэтому я тоже делаю, что попробуй, мне не надо ничего. Это restart, hot reload, ничего. Просто пробуй быстро и все. Если нам потом будет это большое и очень неудобно, ну ладно, давай на C++, это просто потому что удобнее. А не перформанс, ничего, это другой разговор. Вот и что еще. И желтый. Особенно на blueprint есть миллион это туториал, видео и так далее. Все больше люди умеют. На C++ уже меньше людей, конечно. Так. На модель у меня Blender. Это вопрос? Я просто делаю Blender и все. На Photoshop что делать текстуры, потому что на Blender никак. И все. Все остальное Unreal Engine, shaders и все так далее. Вот так. А у меня никаких это не плugин, ничего. Плагин специфичного, ничего. А просто обычный простой блендер, который все есть и все. Ну, только, конечно, я не эксперт, я более-менее программист. Поэтому, что есть для меня хорошо. Я не вижу, что, о, еще мне надо это, и еще нету. Так, никак. Просто это делаю, все спокойно, и все есть. Не только простое, что бесплатно, у меня не проблема это лицензия, ничего. Спокойно. И тоже, если хочу сделать, потому что у меня нисколько тоже есть там. Я сам сделал скрипт, сделал на Python. Мне больше нравится, чем это mail скрипт на 3ds. Ну, как любой. Люди больше нравится это или это. Это уже другой разговор. Но для меня хватит. Я говорю, что мне надо делать, хватит. Мне не надо больше. Если у меня проблема не хватает, тогда и думаю, что другое. А пока у меня все, что надо, есть. Трис. Так. Свет по-другому будет удобнее, думаю, рисовать. Упс. Упали. Single instance select. Okay. Упс, конец. Да, конец. Слишком большой. Да. Вот это слишком большой. Давайте нам поменьше. I will just walk around a bit to see if everything is going well. I didn't find anything where it's like I don't know, grass floating, or I don't know how it is also looking from the perspective view of the player. So we just try to walk around. I like also checking how if they are, for example, aligned all together, or how they look from some distance, to see if they are like too much or a few holes. And also there is all helping with, for example, popping on all the props that are just disappearing from some distance, or for example the houses also. So having trees is just helping hiding all of them, and you cannot see them really popping on changing their loads sometimes, especially when it's like a big distance. So that's why I like, for example, putting a few here. This is fine, you can see them if you are not so far. But if I'm just walking on this area, the trees are just hiding the house, helping with with cooling, and also in case that I'm just increase the distance, they are just disappearing, and the trees are just hiding this one, and you cannot see that they are really disappearing or not. But it's just helping for performance. So that's why I add a few trees all around, being really distribute enough to cover most of the stream if they are just very far. So walking here is not a lot. I mean, you have space, and having maybe 10 of them is not a big problem for performance. But if I'm going to this point, I would like to see, well, in that case we have all the farms, so we have like a empty space. But let's say I'm just walking here. So from this side we have few trees there, but it's really hiding. Well, in that case, as I say, I have the farms from, maybe I could just add a few them here on the close to the river, so it's just really hiding all of them. So for example here, this is the distance for the card. Let me show you. So the card here is just disappearing for this distance. This one that you see now, this one in front, if I'm just moving back, this one is disappearing. Can you see? It's about the distance for the whole distance volume, which is fine. It's almost impossible to appreciate this one, but in case that I just put here a tree, this is completely hiding, and you even don't see this popping, for example. And the tree at this distance is already billboard, so it's not really having any problem. As you see here, for example, for the farms, also here the props that I have on this side of the house are also disappearing, and you see now popping together with the card. You see them disappearing. So just adding a few trees all of this area, maybe one here, another one here. You have from the from this trail you cannot see them already appearing or disappearing because you have the tree in front. So just having a few trees around the map is just also helping with not seeing everything popping. Of course, I don't want to change the distance because I think it's good enough, and this is helping with performance. So I was even thinking to reduce this one a bit more. So for that reason, what I need to check is the common places that the player could be just walking to see if they are really hiding everything or not. Because the map is not big, but this is kind of open world on the way that you can go to any place and you don't have anything blocking, so you can go to any place on the hills, towns, trees, grass, or nature part. So everything is just open and you can go to any place, so it's almost impossible to check only from trails or only from some points, because you can just be in any place. So that's why I'm using the full distance volume. In case that the distance is high, it means the object is so small and probably you cannot notice this one. Having trees or not, I mean, that's why using this one is better than, for example, loading and unloading levels, depending on if you are just moving from the trail. So in case that, for example, the game should be more linear, I can see that progressing, maybe I can just delete or hide completely levels or block of things. But being like that you can walk on any place and it's not linear at all, it's harder to have this one. So that's why I'm using this full distance volume instead of having loading and unloading levels or things like that. So the main thing for the distance is that from one town to another town you cannot see them, because I'm using also hills and few trees, and also the cool distance is enough to hide completely this town, all the buildings and everything, when I'm in this another town. So let's say that you have only one town being painted at the same time and you are something in the middle, so it's a bit tricky that I was just creating, of course, this cure for the river, and then a hill here, another one hill here. So in case that you are in the middle of them and supposed to be that both towns are being painted, the hill, the terrain that is also using for cooling, is just hiding completely the town, so you are not painting and none of them, while keeping for the performance, but I mean not painting them. So in one town you are painting only one town, in the middle you are not painting none of them because you have all the hills, and if you are right to this town there is only one town being painted. So for performance doesn't matter more or less, of course, how big is the map or how much things do I have, because most of them are just being hiding or deleting. The problem that I have found with loading and unloading levels, which is also possible, is that most of the interactive objects that could have kind of state, let's say for example a door, this door could be open. So if I'm just unloading the level and loading again, this door will be closed again, and I should just save the state for all the interactive objects and then reload again when this one is loading and unloading automatically. The problem is also that it's not really unloading. If you have enough memory still. They keep in memory, so they are not really executing this reset code, which is yeah, kind of a problem. So I'm just doing manually and then just resetting everything when it shouldn't be. So this is hard to manage, and the level is not so big, and what I'm doing is just hiding them, but the interactive level are still keeping the state, so they are in memory, but they are not being painted because I don't have big problem with memory. The game is just taking like 300 megabytes at the moment, or even 500, which is not really a lot, but the performance is the biggest issue for me at the moment, trying to have like high FPS. So that's why I'm just focusing more on it, and then keeping like the RAM is fine. Someone just playing with the game is expecting to be at least 1 GB of RAM, so this is not a big problem for RAM at the moment. And the map is growing, and maybe in the future I have problems with that, but in that case, if the distance is so big, probably I can just remove some of the parts. Anyway, I need to save all the state of everything in case that, for example, you are saving your game and continue tomorrow. I need to save everything, like for example where the NPCs are, the state of them, the state of the dialogues, because for example some of the NPCs have a dialogue, and after you are just talking with them, something has changed and they have the different dialogue because you have been, for example, asking for something. So after that they are just changing the dialogue to another kind of state, so I need to save the state for NPCs, like dialogues, internal variables, also the position, location, and also all the windows and doors. For example, all the storage that you have in the map, the vaults and chests that probably maybe you have been putting their things or removing already. So I need to save all the interactive objects that you have in the map. So this is something that I already have, and I was just managing more or less, not saving, but I'm managing all of those things. So I have a system for resetting, loading, unloading completely levels, all the one they have here, and I need to also add a few functions to save or reload this state for all of them. But this is something I will just do in the future. So at the moment what I'm doing is just keeping everything in the level and just hiding them. This is just helping with performance. So I have more or less the same performance in any place on the map. It doesn't matter if this is too big or not. And I was thinking that maybe I should create a small trail close to the river, something like that, maybe, and then adding here a few grass and a few trees, as I say, like one here, another one here, should be enough to hiding all this area completely. Yeah, this is something, because I will not touch this area at the moment, leaving for next week all the things that I should have here. And also I'm not touching this one. This one is not finished, but more or less I will leave as it is. When I have more things from the town, I will just create this one and continue also with the hill here. Yeah, makes no sense working. Smooth a bit. 0.5. And I need to create also like small trail to the hill, but yeah, probably need to readjust well, like for example going on this direction here, so it's just not being completely on the top, otherwise you can see both sides. So I'm just planning to have like a small trail on one of the sides, so you can see only one side, and another one I will put maybe like cliffs, big rocks, things like that, so you are just obligated to walk on one side of the cliff and not just from the top, just also to avoid performance. It's just baking, so that's why I cannot move my brush. Okay, continue. So yeah, we'll create like a small trail on this side, for example. And adding here like stones, cliffs. This is something that I need to model also. Having cliffs for that. Because the stone that they have are completely round and supposed to be rolling from the hills and not being on the top. So I need to smooth all those cliffs and try to do small things. And I can create like a hiding points with some gameplay, for example here, which is something that you cannot see from any part of the level, because it's something like already high. Or for example here, well, try to find some place where I can put like a small building or just a cave or things like that you really need to use the trails to arrive here. So it's like I'm exploring the map, trying to find like hiding spots. We'll just hide so you can see here what is happening, and you see that they cannot move at the moment. There's nothing happening here. Okay, finally. And again. I need to smooth everything here. But yeah, I could just create like a hiding spot after the hills. So it should be something interesting to explore. Especially if you have found already one of them, you will think that maybe there are more of them, and then you are just exploring all the small trails that you have in the hills, for example, or in the forest or things like that, trying to find maybe more points that are just hidden by default, things like that. It seems to me that this one could have grass under the terrain, or this is just okay. So until this number is 0, I cannot move my editor or just my brush. Nothing. Frozen. Okay, finally. Just checking the grass. If this one is working well, that's working well. I could definitely delete all this grass, because in the future when I'm just doing something more interesting, I will just read all this part. Nothing. Okay, I think I will do this one out of the camera. It's almost impossible doing anything here as usual. So just or populating on the part of the map, or maybe modeling something. Because I have still, let me check, 20 minutes. So I could just work a bit on, I don't know, something. Or if you have any question, you want to see any other thing, because I have seen that there are a few new people today on the chat. So maybe you have any question, or you want to see how I did or implement some of the mechanics that I have. I don't know. Let's leave this at the moment. So this is more or less working. And put it in the chat. Here. I can put this video. Hola Mojopoco, ¿cómo vas? ¿Solucionaste tus problemas de la animación? Algo me dijiste, ¿no? Lo que pasa es que no sé dónde has puesto los mensajes, como en los vídeos, o vi los mensajes, pero no, luego no fui capaz de volver a encontrarlo otra vez. Como que tenía notificaciones que habías escrito, pero luego no sé dónde las habrías escrito, que no las vi, o se borraron, no lo sé. Que me habías comentado. ¿De puntos? Okay. Por eso no sé dónde los habías exactamente comentado, pero por eso te pregunto. Pues estupendo entonces, ¿no? Ahora a seguir con otra cosa. Claro, efectivamente. Una vez que has superado eso, tienes que ir a otra. Vamos a ver aquí. Árboles, grass, single instant 64. Menos light. Sí, eso es más sencillo, porque como te digo, en el Alien Blueprint puedes hacer que cuando cambias de estado cambie la animación, lógicamente ya está. Además te hace el blending entre animaciones y tal. Alien Blueprint y tienes que crearte tu state. Espérate un momento, lo voy a abrir aquí. A ver dónde lo tengo. First Content Character. Para cada personaje que tengas, o en este caso el player o lo que tengas, tienes varias cosas como es el mesh, la animación, que es el blueprint, que es el que tú controlas eso, y aquí, bueno, y el physics el skeleton y más cosas, ¿no? Y una de las cosas que tienes es tu state machine. Aquí es donde tú le dices, pues de idle pasas a caminar, caminar a correr, correr, sentarse, cosas así. Y en esos estados que cambian, tú le dices qué animación se ejecuta en cada uno. Por ejemplo, aquí en el walk yo tengo la animación de walk. Simplemente lo tienes que conectar aquí. Yo es que tengo varias cosas, pero conectarías aquí qué animación quieres de las que tienes aquí. Pues se conectan. Es decir, tú haces aquí un arrastre, pones aquí y esta animación pues la conectas aquí, ¿vale? Harías así, clic, y se conecta. Y esa es la animación que quieres que se ejecute en ese estado, ¿vale? Entonces distintos estados tienen distintas animaciones, las que tú ejecutas para cada uno. Espérate porque aquí estoy aquí, ¿vale? Entonces, no sé si lo había visto, pero lo pondré otra vez. Tienes este estado aquí, si yo hago una animación cualquiera lo arrastro aquí, se pone y ahora esto lo conecto a esto, ¿vale? Y esa es la animación que se ejecutaría en este nodo, en este estado. Lo que tienes que hacer es controlar cuando se cambia de un estado a otro, simplemente, y las condiciones, incluso en estas transiciones, las que tú configuras, que tienes aquí, el blend shape, el tiempo de la animación, el tipo de blending y demás. O sea, tú puedes configurar cómo pasas de una animación a otra. Lo único que tienes que hacer es definir qué animaciones van en cada estado de los que tú tienes, ¿vale? Eso sería la cosa. Rusty, привет тоже. Добро пожаловать. Pues te digo, ahí es donde tienes que mirar y bueno, tú ahora ya tranquilamente pues te miras por ahí algún tutorial o alguna cosa y ves cómo se hace eso, vamos, cómo tienes que hacer tu máquina de estado. Oh. Pues es sencillo, crea un proyecto completamente nuevo y crea uno solo con esas 2 o 3 cosas que tiene. Si ahí te funciona, tienes algo en tu proyecto. Si ahí tampoco te funciona, es más fácil depurarlo y saber por qué no o qué no es lo que... O sea, qué es lo que está fallando, ¿no? Paint. Grass. No. Lo digo porque en los proyectos a mí me pasa igual, hay veces que las cosas no me funcionan y como ya tengo ahí 1000 blueprints, 1000 cosas conectadas, al final no sabes qué de cuáles todas ellas. Simplemente abriendo, por ejemplo, el content sample, ¿sabes? Pues lo ves cómo está hecho o creas uno muy sencillo solo con eso que intentas hacer. Es fácil porque es decir, tú añades tu objeto de aquí abajo, lo pones y ya ves cómo va, por ejemplo el personaje, y si falla pues hay muchas menos cosas que pueden estar fallando y que puedes controlar. Una vez que lo hayas arreglado, pues ya te vas al proyecto grande y cambia así eso, ¿no? Así que yo espero que sí. Prueba algo, te digo, algo en pequeño para que no tengas muchos problemas. Y si te funciona en pequeño, pues ya ves cuál es el problema para solucionarlo en grande. Si tampoco te soluciona en pequeño, por lo menos tienes muchas menos cosas, que si no es una locura. Así que te pasas luego otra vez por aquí y nos comentas qué tal, si se solucionó, o si te atascaste en otro sitio, o si has descubierto algo. Que nos enteremos. Blueprints. Interactive. No. Environment. Home garden. I want to put here something small. Let's say like they are just creating something smaller for different crops. Calla suerte, ¿eh? Tú sigue ahí peleando. And I will create something like 400. Bueno, yo me quedan 15 minutos que también tengo que comer, claro. Espero yo terminarlo en este rato. Pero bueno, si veo que hay más gente o más preguntas, quizás me quedo un rato más. Y si no, como siempre, esta tarde luego, en unas 5 horas estoy otra vez por la tarde. Normalmente por las tardes sí hay más gente y tengo algo más de tiempo, porque ahora como me pasa eso, es la hora de comer, pues no me puedo estirar mucho. Pero por la tarde sí que me quedo luego más rato, todo lo que haga falta. Y fence blueprint, fence small. Where do I have this fence small? Fence small 3. Then yo creo que lo más sencillo, en vez de ser, aparte de la web, lógicamente de Unreal, que tiene todas las animaciones, yo creo que lo más sencillo es que te descargues el Content Sample. Content Examples, que es un proyecto que te lo descargas con el launcher en la pestaña Aprender, ahora que es, y te vienen todos los ejemplos de todo hecho. Ya están hechos, simplemente pues, para que lo revises y veas qué tal van, o sea, para que puedas cambiar algunas cosas sin tener tú que hacerlo desde cero todo, sino que ya están hechos y ves cómo están hechos, ya está. Simplemente los abres y ves cómo están. No hay que realmente aprender a hacerlo, sino que ya están hechos. Los puedes abrir, miras los blueprints, lo miras todo, miras todos los estados y ves cómo está hecho y bueno, así lo aprendes sin tener realmente que aprenderlo antes. Porque ese es el problema, que si tienes que hacerlo inicialmente, pues ya lo has aprendido, ¿no? Pero sí, está en verde, que eso, en la pestaña Aprender, abajo del todo, porque hay muchísimo. Me parece que abajo del todo lo puedes encontrar. Tac. So we'll create like a different. At the moment, I have only one single crop, but I can just reuse different ones. So I was thinking like something bigger here and something smaller here, like different crops. So it could be like more or less realistic for that. Because this is the communal farm, so just having like different crops in different areas. And for that, I need also painting. Let's say the terrain here, so if they are just walking all around, and also some dirt for this part, and maybe also here. Also limiting the space for the grass, so I can just now adjust a bit better the grass to the, let's say, the real surface that I have. And I can even add here a few props for this area. Oops. Okay. Painting is not easy. And now I will add a few dirt for that. Oops. More. And I would like to have a few props here, and then just adjusting the grass a bit, and should be enough for that. So slow. Okay, details here, and let me check which props I could just add paint realistic in this area. So what I could just add here, graves, ground wood, checking from all they have for the environment. I don't see anything interesting, but I have also props from yeah, props. I can put a few boxes or even cards. I could just create this card here, use some space. Oh, cool. So I will just check later the Discord because I'm not using any chat during the time that I'm doing streaming, just not be disturbing or just being from here to there jumping. So I will just check later. If you have there, I will just create your account. After that you can just access anytime because it's at my server. So I will just check later. In fact, I will check in 10 minutes. So it's just the time that I'm just finishing, and I know that you cannot come here for the next streaming this evening, so I will just see tomorrow also in the morning, because I'm just leaving in 10 minutes for this streaming. It's time for lunch already. I will just to finish this small area and I will just leave for maybe bigger one or do something more in the next streaming. So I will maybe add a few things like that. No, it's really messy here. Maybe a few boxes, that's all. Yeah, that's time for me. It's even 3, so I'm just doing later because since that I was doing before 1 hour early, but seems to me that all the time I'm just trying to finish things are the most busy part is this last hour, so that's why just moving. But this is not so easy for me having to lay the lunch every day, but anyway, since working better for people, so I'm just doing that. Paint. I will just paint here. Oops, I was just thinking that I'm using this. Okay. And I will just paint a bit of the grass, just few patches. So this is the only one that I'm using. Yes. So we'll just create like a few patches like that. And also, yeah, maybe it's too much. Oh wait, I will just change this one now. So things like that, and then just moving this one out of this. Well, not so close. And then just rotate him a bit. Should be enough. And I will reduce this house for some. This box is too big. Just create something like this. Should be enough. So from this area, more or less, I think this is at the moment this is everything that I was just planning to use or to do, and I will add later the gameplay for here. For example, maybe some NPC here also for this area, but more or less that's fine. Yeah, I'm completely sure when just adding a gameplay for this area, I need more assets and things like well, I see that right now one of the things that I would like to have is this one, interactive. Put there, interactive this, just so I can just save here like tools or just seeds that I have planning to use on this small home garden. That's something fine. I can put like a few seeds already. Seed, onion, maybe 5. So adding a few items on the map, let's say the player can find a few resources that are just kind of exploring all of them. Not a lot, but some of them are also, for example, just being realistic, they're just storing here, for example, seeds or even tools. They are just storing on this area, so that's fine. And I could have, for example, this hoe here, having one. So let's play this, and I think this is the last thing that I'm doing for today in this session. Okay, play. So you see here for some opening, you see the tools and things that's supposed to be here. An onion here farming. I could even, for example, I could just spawn here like I don't know, some vegetables, fruit that you can just find and pick up, and then reserving this one to be working as communal farms. We should have also some gameplay, and here inside, which is completely empty at the moment, probably maybe you will find tools or any other resource that you can just pick up from them. And the house maybe is closed at the moment, and then it's completely empty of course, but should have something also here that you can just play. And this is the trail going to the town, and also going to the manor house and church and everything like that. What's happening here? So it's like okay, I know what's going on. Fine. So this is everything for this streaming now. For these 2 hours, I will be streaming again on around 5 hours. I don't know where is your time right now. Don't forget to check out the website and Twitter with more information. Patreon if you want to support you can and want to support the project. I have also Discord channel if you want to just to talk out when I'm not online. And you have also the YouTube channel with all the streaming last broadcast that I was just doing for the last year, so more than 100 videos. Freddy is close to 150 videos, so you can check any other streaming, for example interesting on modeling, level design, illumination, shaders, I don't know, blueprints, or any other thing that others have been doing during their project. So you can just check there all of them. So I think this is more or less everything. If you have any question or you want to see any other thing or any other part before I'm just leaving, let me check for some people here. So if you don't have any question, that's fine. I hope to see you in the next streaming in around 5 hours. Otherwise I can be streaming tomorrow also at the same time that I'm doing now, and also in the evening. Okay, you too, thank you, and have also a nice weekend. I hope to see you here during the weekend. Anyway, I will be also the next week, and next week I will be streaming a bit more hours, so I hope this is better for you, that you can joining, and planning to, as I said, start in the town on Monday. So I hope this is just something interesting. So we'll just move some of them for you. Okay, so thank you everyone for coming. Hope you enjoy, learn something, and I hope to see you next time here. Have a nice weekend if we are not meeting, and I hope at least see you here on Monday starting with a new town. Should be maybe interesting. Thank you everyone for coming. Have a nice day and weekend. See you later. Bye bye.